Alright, welcome back guys. I'm the Masked Hero and we're gonna be, this is like an update video, but... Oh, wrong disc, wrong disc. I'm gonna have to do a third take of this. Oh no. Wrong disc. I really need to clean off this work area. It's getting really full. And just a little bit hazardous. Alright, but anyway, I'm the Masked Hero. I just got this standalone PC from 1999 working. It's an Intel CA810E, I believe, and let me go ahead and restart. But that's not the one that's on right now. Right now I have this more modern PC over here running because I need to restore the hard disk to a previous state because I messed it up with a virus. And this is what I do every time I record or do a take with either DOS or Windows 98. I mess it up with a virus and I go ahead and I don't have to reinstall the operating system. I simply have a hard disk image backup of the install, which I can just restore. And it's through something called Clonezilla. So this takes long enough as it is, almost as long as to reinstall the entire operating system again. But with Windows 98, it's just ever so slightly faster to just go ahead and restore the system image. Plus, it's got like the install, all my tools, and all the registry settings are already preset because I did that all. So it's just easier to do this way. So I'll go ahead and cut back to when this works completely, and we'll go ahead and get started. And I'm sorry for the delay. I said I was gonna upload like soon. Yeah, college for me starts Wednesday, this Wednesday. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to record with this for this semester, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll get some videos out. Just don't expect like a regular schedule at all. But yeah, see you guys when this finishes. Okay, and here we go. I mean, it's not done yet, but Clonezilla finally just loaded in, so... and I need to go run and get my USB drive that I have to restore this off of. I'll be right back again. Alright guys, I'm back. I plugged the USB drive into the back of this, make sure all the connections are firmly secure. Clonezilla is working just great. Let's go ahead and mount the USB drive. Everything is great. I'm cleaning off this workstation as I speak because it is getting very cluttered. I got extra cable, which basically, all my extra parts I just shove inside this bottom PC right here, which isn't working, so it's just out of sight. You know, the safest thing to do. Maybe I shouldn't store these floppy disks so close to electricity, because I've been having weird floppy disk errors. Floppy disks that did normally have bad sectors suddenly have a ton of bad sectors, which is strange. I mean, they are old. And I did order a 30 batch box of them. Fresh, I mean, it's still vintage floppy disks, but an unopened box from that era. So they actually got delivered yesterday. Saved computers, yes please. Expert, because I am one. Restore an image to a local disk. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright. We want to do the Windows 98 save that I made. And we're going to restore it to the max or 40 gig hard drive. Those settings look okay. Use the partition table from the image. We want to go ahead and shut down when it finishes. And this should actually take relatively quickly. I messed up my sentence. Alright. This should be relatively quick. Even the best of us can't enunciate perfectly. Alright. So yeah, when this finishes, everything will be great. I hope. One of these was in really bad condition. Oh yeah, this one right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this shutter window is totally loose. I haven't even tried. I'm not dumb enough to put that in the drive, because that would probably ruin both the disc. I mean, the disc is already ruined, but it would definitely ruin the drive. So, and this one too is questionable. All the ones with metal shutters get bent so easily. I found a free copy of WinZip on this floppy disk, an old copy of WinZip. Pretty cool. I could recover that. And then I didn't realize I had this, but this is a vintage Windows 95 Universal Boot Disk, Disk 1 of 1. Unfortunately, the contents of this were actually corrupted and I had to format it. I mean, I saved what I could off of it, but I'm pretty sure I can just get another disk image and sell this as it was. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. I mean, this is an update video, so I might as well just talk while this finishes. I bought 2 new floppy drives, actually. One of them is in this modern machine that you see. I haven't even used it. That's the other new one I bought. And this is the other new one. It's a compact Sony I got. The story behind this one's really funny. So I found this on eBay for $10, and I put it in my cart, and then I went around and shopped and put another one in my cart, and then I went back to the page and it said 3 other people have this in their carts. Hurry up and order. So I was like, what the heck? I just bought it. That was kind of funny. So this is now finished, but yeah, this is a compact Sony. The one I have in this machine over here is a Samsung MIC with a bit more modern. That one's a bit more modern. This one's actually, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if the camera's all the way up here, but it's almost the same model as this one right here. Maybe just slightly more modern. And this one right here is obviously authentic. That one came with my 1999 PC. It's a bit dirty, which is why I bought 2 new ones. And then the one that came with the PC that I just powered on, actually I toasted. I can't believe it, but yeah, I broke it. Oh my gosh, I forgot there were screws in there. Right now I just disassembled the entire thing. Maybe put it on display or something. Everything seems to be breaking today, but yeah. I toasted it by... I accidentally hooked it up to power. So you're not supposed to hook anything up to a computer while it's powered on, but I put the floppy connector in backwards. So the, I think it was reverse polarity, and it just, I saw sparks, it was boom, and it was gone. So, unfortunate, but you know what, it wasn't very good anyway. Go ahead and unplug my USB drive. Put that somewhere safe, I don't know, maybe over here. So I'm going to go ahead and wire back up to this PC, which is the one I'm going to be using for all my tests. Obviously, I just said that before. You guys know that already. I'm just repeating myself at this point. Go ahead and plug my keyboard back in. Go ahead and plug the monitor back in. Go ahead and plug the power back in. Power cord is a little bit stretched right now. And plug it back in here. That is the wrong connector. That is a floppy disk connector. No, it's not. No, that's right. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Alright, it wasn't going in, so I assumed it was not the right connector. Which is a good thing to assume. Always double check your connections. You don't want anything catching on fire. Alright, everything looks good. Everything looks good. I'm probably never going to end up putting the case back on this just because I dismantled this entire section so much. It's just in pieces over there, and I lost a bunch of screws, I assume, so it's probably going to look like this for some time until it inevitably dies from all the dust that gets into it. Let's start it up. And it didn't catch on fire. That's a very good thing. Alright. Yes, to be exact, it's the CA810E, which I think I said it was. 512 system RAM. The specs are printed out right there. 933 megahertz Pentium 3 Intel processor. The Maxter hard drive, the HP CD writer, actually from the same era. So both the CD writer and the floppy disk drive came with this computer. The Maxter hard drive is from that machine. The hard drive that actually came with that computer suffered a head crash and is just making the click of death. In fact, the hard drive that came with that one, I have it over here in the pile of broken things. Western Digital, 30 gig, I believe? 30 gig, yep. It's totally dead. It's making the click of death sound quite loudly. So here we go. My Windows 98 restore image is completely restored. And I have a bunch of tools on here, as you can see. This is going to be a long video. I'm just saying that right now. It's going to be so long. I don't know why I have this. Why do I have this on my desktop? Yes, get out of here. Right. So I got 7-zip, an old version of 7-zip for this, so I can... I'm going to be honest, like, I'd love to have a lot more tools on this thing, but not a lot will run on Windows 98. I got an assembly compiler. in case I need to compile assembly on this. I got a better text editor than Notepad on this. This one can at least open large files. It's called Context. I actually use it on my modern computer. It's pretty cool. I got Magic ISO for viewing ISO and floppy disk image files and making copies of that, so I can transmit anything off this computer onto a modern computer. Magic ISO. I got, obviously, a GOAT file. This one actually requires .NET, which means it won't run. This one is an MS-DOS GOAT file. And this one here I made with Pascal. That's technically the only true GOAT file in here. And then I have a bunch of other tools and oddities on this drive here, including a Kaspersky antivirus that won't run. I'm trying to get that to run. So the two antiviruses I have on here are something called Abacre, which doesn't work. Some of this Windows 98 is just so frustrating sometimes. The antivirus on here right now for testing, I only could find one for Windows 98, is this Norton scanner, and it doesn't even get much. It's for Windows 3.0 and Windows 95. And I looked at the virus list, it does not find a lot. So most of the Windows viruses won't even be detected by that, which is just fantastic. Alright, so enough gibberish and just nonsense. I don't know what I was trying to go for there. I'm going to go ahead and make a floppy disk and put a Trojan on this, and we're going to run it because that's the reason why you're here. I will put a link to this part because this is where stuff gets interesting. Alright, I'll be right back. And the AC, of course, comes on at exactly the right time. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put in the CD-ROM, or the CD, into the CD-ROM. I'm not using floppy disks because I ordered a floppy disk drive, USB, to work with a modern computer, so I can obviously write the viruses onto the floppy disk and then transfer them to this machine. But within 2 seconds of me plugging it into my computer, it broke. And yes, I did get the cheapest model I could find, but I'm going to return it because that was just awful. So for now, I'm stuck using ISO images with the CD-ROM. So now the Trojan is on the computer. And I don't know why I'm doing Trojan, just because it was easy to work. And why did I go to the floppy disk drive? I'm so used to doing that, and there's no floppy disk in this. It's this CD-ROM. So the Trojan is free WinHack we're going to be looking at. Obviously, it's not free WinHack. So this is obviously what you would see. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, because this is just awful for you guys, I know. And let's get a tight zoom angle on there. Oh my goodness, that was an ordeal. I had to wait. Okay, so the battery just died, but just for you was 3 hours ago for me, because I charged this up, not even all the way. So here we are, 3 hours later. It may sound completely different. I've actually been editing this video, because I have nothing better to do. I grabbed the memory I could off the SD card and started editing. So let's go ahead and finish this thing. So I did look it up. It's Trojan. Let me make sure I got the zoom right on this. Hang on, guys. Is there a way to turn down the brightness on this thing? Because it is terribly bright. No, not the volume. The brightness, I believe it would be. Hey! Okay, so the controls on this monitor are completely messed up. Like, I'm pressing the down arrow and it's... There we go. It really is not good. Okay, so I'm turning down the brightness so maybe we can get a clear image here. Yeah, I'll turn up the contrast a little bit too. The black level, yeah, that can go up ever so much. And I'll turn the brightness up just a little bit more. Alright, so hopefully that's a clear picture. How do I exit? Okay, there we go. Alright, stuff you didn't need to see. Okay, so I just fiddled around with the settings a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and see if you guys can see this a little bit clearer. And I'm just going to have to hold the camera for this part, because I need to get as close in as possible. So obviously this is the Trojan.JS.DelSys. It would come as a JavaScript file, looks something like this. I just renamed this one to free WinHack, but it could be anything. So this is a Trojan. It doesn't replicate, doesn't do anything special. It just destroys your system, as is the name apparent, DelSys. The unwitting user obviously would go ahead and run this. And then we get a message, Batman just owned you. Windows scripting host. Click OK. Before I go any farther and showed you what it did, I actually had to fix 2 bugs in this JavaScript file. So the user, after seeing that message, would be like, what the heck? Run it again, maybe? And we get a runtime error, file not found. Which is what it said when I ran it the first time. I had to fix some bugs in this. Alright, so then the panicking user would probably go to the Windows directory and make sure, they'd probably figure out I just ran a virus. So they go to the Windows directory and make sure everything's still here. Yep, looks like everything's still here. I'll maximize this window so you guys can see. They'd look for like, what happened to Explorer? Is it still here? Oh yeah, it's right there. Wait, what about Notepad? Where's Notepad? ScanDisk is still here. Run DLL, Paintbrush, Notepad. Oh, regedit. Alright. Win.com. Oh, good, it's still here. Well, I don't think write.exe, wscript, everything's still here. Well, looks like the system got off pretty lightly. So you think. Then the user would probably try and see what the code was. And they probably wouldn't be able to read that. By the way, I will let you look at that. This is the fixed version. If you've had this Trojan, or you have it right now, and you wonder why it's not working, go ahead and copy this code into a JavaScript file and run it on Windows 98. It's really simple. In fact, I probably could have written this, I'm just saying. But yeah, I had to fix a few bugs in it. So I think this is what it's supposed to do. But the user would be like, I can't figure out JavaScript. I don't know that. So then they finish up their work for the day, and then they'd restart. Alright, let's see what happened. I mean, it did destroy the system, you just can't see it yet. So, a normal system boot up on this machine. Oh wow, that is so much nicer. I just realized what turning down the brightness actually did on this monitor, and it's so much more clear. I mean, not for you, obviously. It's gonna look it's gonna look bad for you guys, I'm just saying. But here we go. F1 to resume. Oh, I forgot I had a disk. Continue boot. Windows 98, there we go, alright. And it's booting normally, and cannot find system.ini. You need to run Windows Setup again to install the file. Press any key to continue. Well, that was dramatic. I guess it just shut down the system. It's never done that before. Either that or the computer died at the appropriate time. But anyway, so yes, it deletes system.ini, boot.ini, protocol.ini, win.ini, config.sys, autoexec.bat, and attempts to delete explorer.exe. However, it doesn't, obviously you can't delete explorer.exe while it's running, so it fails to do that, which is one of the bugs, because if it tries to get full access to the path explorer.exe, it can't, and it never actually gets to the part where it deletes files. So basically it just says, I can't access explorer.exe, and the script errors and terminates. So in order to actually get to delete files, you have to delete the entry for explorer.exe, and to get the message to pop up that says Batman owned you, you have to make a little subroutine function that prints a message box. So those are the two bugs in the virus, but other than that, that was exactly what it was supposed to do. It just killed the install of Windows 98. And I have to reinstall again. And you guys know how long that took. Over 5 hours. In total, it's been 5 hours since I started recording. Okay, well, that's all for this upload, which actually is going to be longer than anything I've done before, I think. So, enjoy while you can, and I know I've said it a lot, but I'll try and upload again this week. Probably with a DOS virus this time, but this was just a quick and easy Trojan to figure out, so hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.